Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, as you probably know, immigration, legal and or illegal, has taken the world by storm. And all over the world now, people are just exhausted with all of these people crowding into their countries, and they don't know what to do with them. And they're taking up resources that should go to the citizens of the countries, just like what's happening here in the United States. So some people are going to very extreme measures to do something about this immigration. In Sweden, they are paying Africans to get out of their country. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but they are paying them to get out of their country. Now, do you know how much of a nuisance you have to be for people to pay you to get out of their country? Newsweek magazine reports that the Swedish government has said it will start offering certain migrants up to $34,000 in exchange for returning to their countries of origin from 2026. So in 2026, they want everybody to pack up, and they're going to give you $34,000 to get out of their country. And they say certain migrants. And some people are saying those are Africans. And I think probably people from the Middle East too, especially from Muslim countries. Those people said they are fed up. Those people do not assimilate, and that they are changing the culture of their country. They want to come in and dictate to them what their country should be about. So they fled their country, but they're going to come into your country and tell you what you ought to do to be fair to them. So they said they're fed up with them, and it's not just Sweden. It's several of those Scandinavian countries. And then some of those European countries have put up barriers that they can't get in the country. O'Shea Duke Jackson reported on this a few days ago, and so this is what he had to say.
A lot of brothers and sisters from Africa, if they can't get into the United States, they like to go to Canada or the UK. But if they can't get there, they'll go to Sweden. Sweden is a country that's taken in a lot of refugees from African countries and from Palestine. And so a lot of Europeans are upset that Africans are turning Sweden into a ghetto. And this is a reality. This is how people who feel when foreigners come in and they feel like they're not living their quality of life when they come. Now, this person says, what is allowed continues. Europe will regret feeling sorry for allowing people into their countries that bring no skills other than to destroy. They believe that they're making the place dirty. It's garbage everywhere. So you are there not adding anything to Sweden. So you're going to turn our country into where you came from, which is a shithole. If you don't want people to say that about you, then, we got a lot of work to do in the Pan-African world, right? Because this is what they're going to try to say. We let these Africans in here, so they're the reasons why our country is having problems, which is not true, but that's the narrative that they're going to spin. And again, people who are racist are going to blame them for everything. At the same time, people are down talking their country to want to go to Sweden. And then when you get there, or you get to Dubai, you start to find out that you're going to experience racism on every hand. And I hope it doesn't happen to you, but work together, try to build Africa, guys.
So they're a problem everywhere they go. They don't want to build Africa. They want to run. They want a country with all the problems worked out, where people had to suffer and sacrifice, and then they want to come to that country and not even know how to act. Now, I have tried to give some pointers on what's wrong, but they won't listen to me. But when you go to somebody else's country, you need to go there to learn. The first thing you need to do is learn the ways of that country and the ways of those people. And if you don't, you're going to have a problem. So there's not just a few of them. Now, probably when the first wave of Africans went into Sweden, they were the good ones. Just like the first wave of Africans that came here. They were the good ones. They were very nice. I remember meeting Africans in New York City Very nice. Even Nigerians, they were very nice. But over time, the riffraff comes in. So now what we have is a lot of riffraff leaving other countries. They don't particularly have anything to offer. They just want to get out because they've heard that it's easy to make it in the West. And so they come over here with the attitude that America or Sweden or Germany or wherever they're going is an ATM machine. So they just come there to make money. They don't come there to be decent citizens of the country. They just want to come there and scam and beat their way. And, they just aren't good immigrants. They just aren't. So the Swedish migration minister, Johan Forsell, says that immigration has become increasingly controversial in Sweden over recent years. And right-wing Democrats in Sweden have sprung up just like the right wing in the United States. And they want those immigrants out of their country pretty much like it is here now. People are fed up and they want these people deported out of this country because they are also changing the culture in the United States. Creating little ghettos here and ghettos there, and you pass by them, you don't even know what they're saying. So that is problematic in an established country. According to the AFP news agency, a number of other European countries already have schemes that pay migrants to return to their home countries with offers of around $2,000 in Germany, $2,800 in France, $1,400 in Norway, and more than $15,000 in Denmark. So they want them out of their country. And let's be clear. Scandinavia is primarily white. Those are majority white European countries. And they want to keep their cultural identity. Now, they're not saying that in those exact words, but they want to keep their racial and cultural identity. And those people are coming in, changing the whole paradigm of what those countries have always been. And the people are upset. So it really is that simple. So they are doing the humane thing by offering them money. Many of them come to those countries saying they want to work. Now, according to the Swedish, a lot of them are not working. They're on those government assistance programs because they have safety nets. They have social safety nets in those countries like we have in the United States, but even more so because they have free health care and housing and vouchers for food. They have those things too, but probably more of it than we have. So the very ones that are in those countries taking advantage of those freebies that those countries have for their citizens will have the nerve to criticize Black Americans, talking about, oh, you're on welfare, you don't want to work, when they're in those Scandinavian countries not working. So you see how it works? And the Swedish also say that part of the reason why they want to get rid of them is because there is a rise in gang violence in their cities. Sweden and Denmark, those countries have been known in the past for being some of the safest countries to live in the world. But now they're having problems with this gangs, all these gangs converging on their cities. The criminal gangs involved in Sweden's urban warfare are run largely by second-generation immigrants, the report stated. This has prompted anguished debate about the failed integration of these newcomers and their families. Once one of Europe's safest places to live, and despite everything, still safe in general, Sweden now has one of the continent's highest gun death rates per head. And so this is very troubling to the Swedish people because in the past they've been able to live together in peace. But all of these immigrants coming in there, and see, the thing about it is some of those immigrants might be trained to do certain jobs. But if you're coming in there illegally and they're calling them shadow immigrants, then nobody's going to hire you. They didn't send for you. You came up in there because you wanted to. So you can't get a job. You can't get a good job. So then you resort to gang activity. And mostly when they do that, they are actually abusing the people from their own community. They're not bothering the people from the Swedish or the Danish community. They are bothering the people from the immigrant community, their own people, just like the Venezuelan gangs here in the United States. They are harassing the people from their own communities, from their own countries. So that is why they're trying to get a handle on that immigration now. They're starting out by saying, we'll pay you to go home. But now what do y'all think is going to happen if those people don't get out of those countries? I think that this is a warning for them. You need to go home. And then the next thing, something low down, I say, will start happening. And then people will start talking about humanitarian crisis. Well, they told you to go home. So, you need to go home. Everybody can't accommodate an unlimited amount of immigrants coming into their country, especially people coming of their own free will. Nobody has given you permission to come. You just decided to come. Now, some people feel like there shouldn't be anything such as immigration, and all borders should be opened. But that really, to me, is a disaster. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. But y'all let me know what you think about this. Do you believe in borders? Now, most of us do, I think, but some people may not. Do you believe in open borders around all of the countries? Just let whosoever will, let them come. Let me know what you think about that, because this is getting to be no, it's not getting to be. This is a worldwide crisis. And so somebody's going to have to figure out what to do about it. Okay, let me know what you think about this. Thank you for listening. Leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and have a good evening.